Well, it is Tip Tuesday, and I am Lorraine Brock with Get Organized, professional organizer here and owner of Get Organized. And every Tuesday, I bring you an episode of Tip Tuesday, which really is all about getting organized with your home, business, and life. Today, we're going to be talking about underneath your bathroom cabinets. Now, I told you guys last week that I was going to share with you my bathroom. I've really done nothing in here. I've only emptied the trash can for you guys, and really this is my bathroom, and this is pretty much how it stays. We're going to have 3 tips today, and they're all going to be concerning underneath the bathroom cabinets. And so let's get started. All right, so I'm going to share with you guys 3 tips. The first tip being use some drawers to make it easy to get underneath those bathroom sinks, or some type of a pull-out drawer or a plastic drawer. It could be a metal drawer that you need to get underneath your bathroom counters. And I'm fixing to show you mine. The deal is when you have cabinets that are underneath low, and I'm going to open up some of these cabinets and let you guys see. When you have cabinets that are down low, one of the hardest things to do is to get into the very back, unless you're going to bend down or sometimes get on your knees all the way down. And it ends up being a big problem when you're trying to get things in the very back. So I'm going to show you my bathroom counters, and you can sort of see here, has really absolutely no storage except all low storage. I mean, there's storage here, but there's nothing underneath here except the lower cabinets. In the corner here, I have just a shelf here that has, whatnots on it. You have obviously the shower, and then you have the toilet area. Again, over here, just more decor, some towels, things like that. I do have a linen closet in here. We're not going to get into linen closets today. So I just wanted to give you a little tour that this bathroom doesn't have the option to have a lot of storage up high. It really is just these lower cabinets. So my first tip here is to use drawers to make it easy to get all the way in the back, especially on those lower cabinets. And if you happen to have a lot of physical limitations, this would even be more important to you. There was a client we had years ago that ended up saying that they wanted nothing in the very back of their cabinets. It was in their kitchen, but my whole point was because of their physical limitations. They wanted everything more at waist or shoulder head high height. So this makes it very difficult for people that can't bend down. I want to show you what we've used here. So this is my husband's side of the sink, though I will say I claim even much of it. Here is just some cabinets here that are, they're just plastic drawer systems. That's all there is. And you notice here I have a large drawer system here that will actually give some space here that will allow it to be not touching the piping. We're going to get to that. And then we have the smaller drawer on top. So you can do a combination of different type drawers. Over here, we have another drawer, and then we have just a container here that holds other things. So you can see that I'm using some plastic. I think these are Sterilite drawers. If you go to my side, primarily over here, these are the same, and these are the same, but they're 2 different sizes. And I've had to do that because of consideration of the piping, and we'll talk again a little bit about that. So these are really great because all I have to do, here's my hair drawer. We're just with my hot rollers or hair dryer, just things that I would use for my hair, not necessarily major products, but definitely more of my tools. And then we have a medical drawer down below there. And then these are just my drawers for keeping extra soap and hair products and things like that. Now, you'll be surprised to know that I keep my makeup bag, my makeup in a makeup bag. I don't actually keep my makeup in a drawer. That's just the way I've always done it. And so it's always ready to go on a trip, or I can just grab it in the mornings, use it, and then put everything back in there. So anyway, you notice that I have the drawer systems, which really makes it easy. I just pull them open and grab what I need underneath them. Now, you'll notice in the middle here, I'm using baskets. This is where a chair would normally go to be for a chair you'd get, a powder chair. And you would sit here and put your makeup on, hypothetically, and that would be exactly what you would do this space. Well, I don't live that way. What I did is I took the measurements of this particular space here, and I found me 2 baskets. One is for dirty clothes and one is for dry cleaning. And that's what we do with these. And again, I didn't really have to change anything out. I just took this space. It wasn't being utilized, and I made it to where our hampers are now in here. So again, tip number 1 is to consider some type of drawer. Now, these drawers are not attached. They don't move really because they're heavy. They've got contents in them. But also, you could get some kind of shelf that would be attached to the very bottom wood section down here. I will recommend a few things. Container Store has an excellent metal pull-out shelf or drawer that you could use. Also, check out Rev-A-Shelf. Rev-A-Shelf is a shelf that can be used. Well, they have a whole line of products. You find them mostly at Lowe's. Home Depot might have some as well. But Rev-A-Shelf, you'll find a line of their products, which probably more online at Lowe's. There is some in the store, but check out those. They also have some wooden ones, metal ones, a variety. So the Container Store has pull-out drawers, and then Rev-A-Shelf is another brand that you might like. Again, what I'm using here is more of the Sterilite totes, and I've actually put in these drawers, Sterilite drawers. I've actually put in here certain products and certain categories for each drawer, and it really, really works and actually keeps my cabinets, underneath my cabinets, really nice and neat. Okay, so tip number 2, and we're talking here about pipes. So I'd come right around that. So before you do any kind of products underneath your bathroom counter, it is vital that you measure. Absolutely vital. Not only do you need to measure underneath your countertops from your inside, from your hinge to hinge, and I'll show you. Some people have really bulky hinges. This is actually not really bulky, but you need to measure from the hinge to the other hinge. And keep in mind also, you have this stylist right here, this wood piece. That's probably not going to be a major reason to decide what puts underneath here, because you got your piping. That's more of a cumbersome thing to plan around than this. So really just measure this opening here, because you want to make sure the drawer width is going to open. This drawer right here is perfect that I can open it and not hit either side of this. And what you want to do is then, secondly, after you've measured your door opening hinge to hinge, then you're wanting to come in here and you are wanting to measure the actual piping. I measure from the bottom right here all the way up to the bottom of the piping. Then I measure the furthest part of the piping right here all the way to the side wall, and then vice versa, the piping right here all the way to the side wall. And it gives me a good idea of what size drawers I could use on each side. Now, if you notice this piping here is coming down, I wanted to still use this space in the middle, though it's going to be more limited. So what I normally, here's my nail stuff. This is just all my nail stuff that I use if I'm doing fingernails, toenails, whatever. Everything's here that I would need to take care of nails, and I just bring that out. So you will not see anything nail related in any of these drawers in my bathroom except in here. And then normally I keep extra bottles of shampoo, conditioner when they get on sale, just a little bit more bulkier storage things back there. So keep in mind, this is not a space that you shouldn't use. It's just you're going to be a little bit more limited, and here you can see that you can use it just for a certain type of container. But definitely watch that plumbing. That plumbing is definitely a harder thing to work around. It's definitely more of a thing you got to consider when you're looking for storage underneath there. And there are products, which brings me, well, I'll continue with tip number 2, which brings me to another tip of number 2. You want to find under the sink storage that can be piping friendly. And if that's not these drawers or other type of drawers that pull out, you would definitely want to find something that is built around the piping. Container Store has plenty. Look online. Some of them are more limited in the amount of storage space they have because it's the way they are designed. These drawers that I have a lot of space in them, and therefore I get to store a lot. Okay, so tip number 3, use inside of your cabinet doors. Now, I don't have a need to use the inside of my cabinet doors right here. Don't have a need for that. But if I did, this is a prime space that you can get a little bit more storage. I used to, in times past, have a command hook here on the door. And the command hook would hold a shower cap because I have very long hair, and sometimes when I fix it, I may not wash it the very next day. And I would have a command hook here, and it would hold the shower cap so it would allow it to dry. I've seen storage, and you would need to search this on the internet, but I would see storage here that would be over the cabinet storage for doors, on cabinet doors. Look for that when you're going online, and you'll be able to find quite a few things, little metal things that go on the inside, plastic things. Container Store has one that will hold your hair dryer on your door, or it will hold cleaning supplies. It's just free space. And if you're really struggling with your space, this could give you a little additional space by looking at your cabinet doors. So that is our 3 tips today for under the counter sinks, bathroom sinks, excuse me. And you can see here also, I do keep some product on my bathroom counter. Things that I pretty much use every day, lotions, hair products. Those are the things that I keep there every day. But other than that, and you say, yes, my husband puts everything back. This is pretty much our bathroom counter, and my husband puts everything back, and he's really good and faithful for keeping that. We have never had a problem with squeezing the toothpaste at the wrong end, or him putting things on the counters and leaving them there. He's really good about cleaning up after himself. So it makes a happy wife. All right, so we're done with our 3 tips today. Hope you got some insight a little bit about my bathroom cabinets and what we do here. And again, it's not really anything custom, but it's a great low-cost way to really get a lot of storage. All right, so I want to mention last week's winner. We gave away a luggage scale where you actually weigh your luggage before you go to the airport, because I've had to unzip mine and get things out from past experience. It's not, people's like, can you get out of here quickly, lady? The winner is Melba Pryor. Melba, congratulations. We will message you and make sure we have your correct address and get that delivered to your door. So congratulations. Thanks for leaving great comments last week. I think we had over 20-something comments last week about all of the tips that our organizers gave. So it was great. All right, so this week we're giving away a bag. Let me show you what we're giving away here. So this right here is a bag. It's a very large bag. It's very sturdy. In fact, we've had a person actually stand inside the bag before, and we held it up and it supported them. It was amazing. So a really cute bag here, very wide bottom, and then you have 2 great looking straps here, and you can carry this. So whatever you want for groceries or just carrying things from the car into the house, really nice bag. And we're going to be giving that away if you leave a comment down below about what organizing tip you like in this video, or if you have another tip that you would like to share that you organize your bathroom counters, leave it, and we will be sure to include you in the chance to win that bag next week. All right, so our Tip Tuesday tool. I always tend to forget this. So our Tip Tuesday tool is always something that I find, and I thought today that I would do something that you guys could use for the bathroom. We're talking about shelf liner, and I actually have 2 of these with me. This is a shelf liner that's 12 inches deep. So you definitely want to look at the measurements of how deep your cabinets are. This would not really be a good idea to use only solely because it's 12 inches deep. Now, they'll probably make a 20-inch deep one. So measure the depths of your counter before you start, because you want this piece to be one solid piece. However, I did want to show you here, if you'll look here really close, let me get this this is pretty much transparent. This is a transparent see-through type of shelf liner, and it's great. It's a hard plastic. It's really durable. But if you have old cabinets and they are very scratched up, or they have been stained and they're scratched, and that stain, you can see things. And let me just explain. So down here, let me turn the camera around here. If this is my liner here, but my cabinets have had liners since we moved into the home. But if all this is really scratched up, really looking bad, you want to have a different type of liner than what I just told you, because the liner that I just showed you is going to be a liner that is transparent. And that means when you put it down, it's really still going to look bad. It's going to show all those things. So don't get something that's a transparent liner if you have really messed up, scratched up bottom of your cabinets. What I would prefer you do is get something like this. And this shows a picture of a kitchen sink underneath it. But the whole idea, it's more of a matted white, solid, not see-through. And this would be the best thing to use. I would put it in there, measure really good before you cut. And a lot of our organizers, when they're putting in shelf liner like this, they will use it, and this comes in rolls. I'm just showing this particular box, so that's what I had. But what our organizers like to do is they actually measure, and then they use a cutting mat with many times a rolling cutter like you would use for fabric, and it makes such a neat, clean cut, and it really makes the corner. They also use, I think it's called a T-bar. It's like a measuring stick, but it measures up and it measures this way, so you get real sharp corners when you're laying shelf liner paper. Whole nother story that we'll talk about on a Tip Tuesday. So just don't get the transparent, and always measure the depths of your shelf. And I would recommend more of, and I think it may come in a black too, but the white tends to be really nice for clean bathrooms or clean laundry rooms or kitchen. I like white. It's just a clean, crisp look. So that's our Tip Tuesday tools of the week. I shared 2 little shelf liners in there that you could potentially use. All right, so next week on Tip Tuesday, we're going to be talking about 5 great apps to help you stay organized. So we're going to try to do this a little bit, because I know there's different platforms out there. We're going to try to find apps for you guys that go across both platforms. But if there's just one we can't just pass up, we're still going to mention next week. So tune in next week for 5 great apps to help you get organized. And also, that brings me to our services. I always love to highlight something during our show of what we do. If you're moving into a new home, or you are really just wanting a fresh cabinets lined, our organizers can go in and completely line every cabinet and do it in the most professional way. We don't use the sticky kind. That's bad for your cabinets. But it actually takes a lot longer and a lot more time than you think it does to lay shelf liner. And also, you got to consider if you have a shelf liner that has a directional pattern, that may take more shelf liners. So if you're moving, or you just in your home and you really just want everything just lined, we can absolutely do that for you, and we can come in there. Normally best to do that a team of 2 because of the time that it takes. But just know that we offer that shelf lining for your new home or existing home, and we could absolutely help you with that. All right, well, that is all for our Tip Tuesday. Remember, if you are wanting to win this wonderful bag, it's a very, very wide base. So it's actually a very large bag. Make sure that you leave a comment down below of where, a comment down below of what is your tip that you like today of our 3 tips the most, and any tips that you have about organizing underneath your bathroom counters. And by the way, I had great comments last time of people that were in Oklahoma, I think it was Michigan, and other places, that if you're listening, I'd love to know where you're listening from, either now or on the replay, because it's always great to see how far reached our Tip Tuesdays go. Well, that is it today. So I'll give you one last look, if you're just coming on, of just some under the bathroom type ideas for your bathroom. And we hope you guys will join us next week on Tip Tuesday. And again, we're going to talk about organizing apps, and 5 great apps that will help you get organized and stay organized. I'm Lorraine Brock with Get Organized, and thanks for joining me on Tip Tuesday. Have a great day. Bye-bye.